Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are at. This is our agent training webinar series. We do this every other week, and it is officially time for us to get started. My name is Nathan Klug, and it is an honor and a privilege to have everyone on here and going through the information that we are going to go through today. So if you haven't already noticed from the slide in front of you, we are having American National on, and very specifically from the title kind of describes it all. We have a unique opportunity and product to talk about within the American National product portfolio, a 401k plan that you can actually sell with just a life license. So I won't steal too much of Ronnie's thunder. That's why we have him on. But I, for one, am excited to be able to share this information. And there's not a lot of people that know about it, and agents are terribly familiar with it. So we're glad to spend some time on this because this is an invaluable tool to those that are looking to get into the business space, are already working with business owners, and again, just have their life insurance license. And typically those options are very narrow and limited for what we can do and help out with any 401k plans. And American National has a solution to that problem that we are excited to share. Before we get into that, and I pass the baton over to Ronnie, though, just a couple of housekeeping things. So this is a recorded webinar. So afterwards, this will be on the YouTube channel. You can take a look at this at any time. Over at Praxis ACG is their channel. And then as well as if you have questions. So right now, because of the people that we have on, everyone's muted. But if you have a question, the best way to do it is at the Zoom bar, there is a Q&A section. So as Ronnie's going through this information, please put in any questions that you have in the Q&A section, and we will make sure that they get addressed, and we'll have some time for questions afterwards as well. Other than that, I am going to pass this off to Ronnie. So Ronnie Russell is our direct point of contact over at American National. He is a wealth of information, and we are really excited to have him on as part of this agent training series. And this is the first time that we've had American National on this webinar series. So Ronnie, like I said, I'm not going to steal too much of your thunder. I'm going to pass it over to you. You can give your introduction, and we'll all cross fingers, make sure technology works. But Ronnie, thank you so much for spending time today with us and going over this specific product.
Nathan, thank you very much. And want to thank you and Praxis for setting up today's webinar and giving us this opportunity to participate. And just want to also thank all of you that are taking time out of your day to listen in. Hope that you will find today's information productive. As Nathan mentioned, my name is Ronnie Russell. I'm based in Houston, Texas. The picture you see on the screen is actually an image of Galveston, Texas, and that big building, big white building to the left is our home office building. The biggest building in Galveston, Texas, actually. So American National's been around since 1905 and 116 years and going strong. So as Nathan mentioned, among many products we do offer on our portfolio, we do offer a kind of a unique platform, as Nathan had mentioned, which is our 401k platform. It's actually a little broader than just 401k. And I'll very briefly touch on that, but the concentration of today will be the 401k piece of that particular platform. We refer to it as our qualified pension platform. And so without further ado, we'll get started. Let's see here. So, when you're talking 401k retirement plans, you sometimes might want to ask yourself, why should you be in the small, retirement plan marketplace? Well, I mean, obviously for business owners, this serves as a tax deduction opportunity for them, number one. They can build a larger nest egg in a qualified environment than any other avenue or vehicle available to them. And it's an underserved market. I mean, most of the small business owners out there historically don't have a plan in place, and are simply just don't recognize that that even if they are a small business, that they can certainly put a plan in place for the benefit of their employees as well as themselves. And obviously, it's a great door opener, right, for other sales opportunities. I always like to fall back on an agent I knew from years back now. He told me he had a business owner client he approached numerous times about life insurance and just continued to hit the brick wall. And when he learned about our platform, he did a roundabout, went back to that business owner and talked about 401k plans. Long story short, he ended up setting up the business with a 401k plan, and then the business owner was interested in talking to him about life insurance. So keep that in mind. It's definitely a quiver in your hat, so to speak, that you can use to leverage your business owner relationships. And it's a new profit center for your practice, right? And the good news with Anico, you don't have to be an expert. We provide a turnkey solution, and I'll get more into those details as we move along here. And the commissions can be, commissions can be quite good. So, what are the benefits? Obviously, to the business, just mentioned a moment ago, it's reducing taxes, right? Contributions to a plan will be a tax deductible contribution by the employer. Also they can build or accumulate savings for themselves on a tax deferred basis. And of course, for the employees, it's going to further solidify employee retention, as well as attracting maybe higher caliber employees, because you have that 401k plan in place. So I mentioned earlier about, the landscape of small businesses. There's more than 26 million small businesses in the United States with less than 20 employees. 26 million. 92%. 92% of those in the U.S. We currently have 5 trillion in existing 401k plans currently. And as you can see, 75% of Americans indicate that they do not feel confident that they are saving enough for retirement. So another reason to position a 401k plan for a business owner, so they can reap the benefit of helping their employees with a savings vehicle. And then last but not least, as most of us know on this call, there's 81 million baby boomers at or approaching retirement. So obviously it's a priority. So the opportunity here for you is to think about what percentage of small businesses do not have a pension plan. Well, believe it or not, it's 85%. So of more than 26 million small businesses in the country, 85% don't have a pension plan. So a lot of opportunity there, a lot of potential there for for your relationships you may already have with business owners. So why choose American National? Well, we're going to provide a full turnkey solution for this for this process, if you will. We're going to come up with plan design. Our fees are some of the lowest in the industry, particularly for, again, the smaller business owners in those plans that fit the small business owners parameters. And then our investment opportunities that make up our 401k platform, the various mutual funds that I'll touch on as we proceed through the presentation. The quantity and quality of these investment choices are, equal to those of even large 401k providers in the industry. And then we also, within our plan, we offer there's an investment advice option. We act as our own internal TPA. So our folks in our pension pension department at our home office in Galveston serve as the third party administrator of the plan. And so, we're the one-stop resource, full turnkey. Now, this is we haven't updated our fee schedule yet for 2022, but as you can see there, we break it down as to the number of participants in a plan, as far as installation fees, and then of course flat annual administrative fees for the ongoing maintenance and tax filings and such, acting in our capacity as the TPA. And so you can see here that we've got a number of qualified solutions on both the defined benefit and the defined contribution side. Obviously, since we are focusing here on our 401k platform, you can see there in the bottom of the defined contribution plans, the 401k options that we have and what those fees are going to run. So the good news is all businesses are welcome, right? So we're gonna be able to accommodate any type of corporate structure that may exist. Coincidentally, we even do solo 401ks. So typically, as we all know in this business, as independent agents, you're an independent proprietor, and so in reality, you can also look to American National to potentially come up with a 401k solo plan for yourself. So keep that in mind as well. So what's our target market? So with us, again, I've been saying all along, we're more targeting the small businesses, and that has to do with our administrative capacity within our organization. And so because of that, we looked for employers who are generally less than 100 employees. And again, you can see there are no franchisees, no unions, no associations. These are going to be, private corporations or private companies, for profit companies generally. Okay, so that's the target market you're looking for. And here's just some things where to look, right? You got potentially your existing clients who may already be business owners. You can now approach them on the basis of that, you work with an insurance company that can offer qualified retirement 401k solutions, and use that, if you will, as a way for you to reapproach those existing clients. CPAs are always a great resource in this marketplace as well. So wherever you may have those relationships, you're going to want to certainly reach out to them as well. There are a number of databases actually that you can go and seek out information on 401k plans that are already in force. And in some cases, you can use that, to identify businesses and potentially target those businesses from just cold calling. And later on in the presentation, I'll have a reference of where those databases can be found. Community involvement, obviously, for those of you that are involved in your community, gives you an opportunity to maybe have some opportunity to branch out in your community and let it be known that you can offer 401k solutions to business owners. And then there's some mail out campaigns, as well as I mentioned earlier, just traditional cold calling. So how do you identify prospects? Well, this is a list actually of just the variety of businesses that we have done 401k plans on. So, obviously, as you can see here, the opportunity is very broad and wide. So it almost doesn't matter what the business does. We don't look at it that way. We're simply looking at it from the perspective of participant headcount and less than 100 participants in a plan. We also do takeovers. So, just because you may have a relationship already and the business owner has a 401k plan in place, as many of you are probably aware, once a 401k plan is put in place by a business owner, as far as they're concerned, it's on autopilot. They forget about it and tend to their business. But, there can be those opportunities that you can come in and offer to that business owner a review, because quite possibly they haven't conducted such a review since the inception of their 401k plan. And just like a life insurance review, a 401k review can reap that business owner additional benefits in the form of potentially lower fees or some other type of 401k platform that might enable that business owner to make larger contributions into the plan for themselves. And I'll touch on that as we move along through this presentation. So as Nathan mentioned initially, that the good news with Anico with this particular platform is, as a life licensed agent only, you can be the agent of record of a 401k plan with American National for your business owner clients. And how we accomplish that is, you can see our product that we use, since we're not a securities-based organization, but rather an insurance company. We can use a variable annuity wrapper, if you will, to basically bring in mutual funds that we then allocate towards a 401k plan. And you can see it's our WealthQuest 3 group unallocated, non-registered variable annuity. And that takeaway, non-registered, is what enables you as a life licensed agent only to be the agent of record. And you can see here we have 50 plus investment options, 7 fund families. And you'll notice there Morningstar availability. That's our investment advisor that we make available in this platform for plan participants that I'll touch on here momentarily. So if you take a look at our fund families, these are the mutual funds that make up the 401k platform. You can see a number of funds there that are going to be very well recognized by the average person, be it Fidelity, T. Rowe Price, Invesco. So as you can see here, we have a number of mutual fund families that we draw from to provide the investment options. And you can see here to the right, I realize that page you may not be able to see clearly, but that basically breaks out the 54 sub-accounts, or the 54 investment options that make up from the 7 mutual fund families. And you can see there the different categories that we offer, just as any other 401k plan that you find out there. Even if it's some of the larger 401k plans that maybe someone like a Morgan Stanley or a Merrill Lynch might offer, we offer the same investment options. And so it's a very competitive plan. But again, it's geared for the small employer, where maybe the small employer, Merrill Lynch or Morgan Stanley, isn't necessarily inclined to work with them because they don't have enough participants. So I mentioned our investment advice, and that's Morningstar. And so how Morningstar works is that upon an employee participant signing into a 401k plan with their employer, Morningstar is going to provide each plan participant what they refer to as a one-time free look asset allocation model, specifically for that individual's needs. And so at that point, the individual can then choose whether they want to continue to use Morningstar as the investment advisor or not. And they will sign off on a form for that purpose as well. And you'll notice there's no cost to the employer. If the plan participant chooses to use Morningstar as the investment advice, Morningstar will charge to that participant's account an annual fee of 50 basis points. So very reasonable. And again, it just what the purpose of the Morningstar advice is, that as the agent of record for a 401k plan, once we build out that plan and put it in play, or once that plan is established, you as the agent are going to ultimately go back to that place of business and sit down with each employee and sign them up for the 401k plan. So as you can imagine, in that setting, obviously you're going to have some employees ask you as the agent signing them up, how do you recommend I invest my, my contributions? And this is where you would then be able to hand off to Morningstar as the advice. And because obviously as a life licensed agent, and in the capacity of a life licensed agent, you're not eligible, if you will, to offer investment advice. So this is where Morningstar serves that purpose for our platform. So, the good news here with our platform, you don't have to be the experts. You don't need to really understand all of the dynamics of a 401k plan and all of the tax implications and the ERISA guidelines that surround them. We do all of that. As I mentioned earlier on, ultimately we still serve as the third-party administrator for any plan, existing plans. So, the small business market, you guys probably might have a general idea of things to say, but hey, here's asking business owners, are you maximizing your tax deductions? And they may be able to respond. They may say, I don't know, what are you talking about? Well, do you have a retirement plan? If they say yes, well, we offer free reviews of your existing retirement plan. Perhaps your plan might need to be analyzed to make sure it's doing for you what you wanted it to do when you first had it installed. And obviously we can also potentially save on the cost of running that plan. And not to mention that we might have a broader investment portfolio as well. So these are some points that you can refer to when you're speaking with a client about having a conversation with them on opening that door for a 401k possibility. And then if no, obviously you can show them how they can maximize their tax deductions through employer contributions. And the simple process of a census will enable us to basically review and build out a plan that we can show them at no cost and no obligation. So ultimately, your goal in this whole process is really to have that relationship, to pique the interest of that individual, to be willing to offer up some information to you so that we can build out a plan, proposal that we can ultimately present together to that client. And I'll explain that in a moment. In the meantime, I wanted you to at least be aware that we do have a prospecting guide to small business retirement plans on our website. And I'm not going to go through all the detail in the next several slides, just really wanted you to have a sense of what's in this brochure that you can refer to. But it outlines clients without a plan, some telephone scripting, maybe for any of your current clients that are business owners, but they may be, and they don't have a plan, how to maybe approach them and some talking points that's available in that brochure. Also maybe prospects. So maybe you're cold calling now instead of an existing current client that has a current plan. So again, this brochure can offer you, those tidbits, if you will, to help you in the process of working this marketplace if you're looking to do so. And the same here, again, an unknown prospect, you're doing a cold call, how to basically lay out that conversation, if you will, so that at least the person on the other side, gets the impression that you at least have some general knowledge of this 401k platform and what you're trying to propose to them. And then again, just some additional conversational starters. Again, all this is in that brochure, and at the end of this presentation, I can show you through our website how to get to that brochure. We also offer in that brochure some pre-approved letters. If you choose to maybe send out some letters to clients or letters to prospects. So let's talk about the process real quick. So, I mentioned earlier about a census. So this is our request for proposal piece. It's 4 pages, and the first page is the one you're looking at on the screen. It's really only 2 pages of information that we're going to need. And then the third final page is a census that, You can use it as a template if you need to capture the census information, but generally, most employers already have that information either through their payroll service or they maintain it on like an Excel spreadsheet. Excuse me. So you're going to submit this census once you gather the information from your prospect or your client. We're gonna receive it, review it, and build and develop some sort of a solution by one of our case designers. And that person is going to get on the phone with you once that's completed and emailed to you, and they're going to talk you through that proposal. And then ultimately, the next step would be that you would then reach out to your client and offer to them a conference call with you and our case designer to go over the presentation. And so again, they will then, from our home office, our case designer will basically handle that conversation with your client while you're just listening in on the sidelines. And once the client hears the proposal, if they are inclined to proceed, then that's when we will build out a participant package and send that to you as the agent so that you can take it to the place of business and essentially sign the employees up. So just kind of backtracking for a minute, this request for proposal, this is that first page of information. And you can see here, we're just needing company information, contact information. Is this company just a single company, or are they, do they have multiple businesses that might be tied together under one owner? And then what are the goals and objectives of the business owner, right? Do they just want to have a 401k plan that their employees can contribute to, which is your standard traditional 401k, or is the employer going to make matching contributions? So those are the kind of things we're going to need to know from that business owner as to, what are they inclined to do, and what is their intention as far as leveraging that 401k plan for the benefit of their business. And then this is the second page where you can see we're gonna be looking at what kind of contributions are going to be coming into the plan, and is there any existing plan, which if this is a potential rollover, well, then the only other additional information we would need above and beyond this request for proposal is if there's an existing plan, then there will be an existing plan document. And so we will need that plan document in conjunction with the request for proposal for any reviews, because there will be certain parameters within the current plan that cannot be changed. And so we'll need to know what those are in order to determine whether or not from a review process we can offer up any enhancements to that plan for the business owner. And then finally, this is the third and final page, which is that census page, which again, generally your business owner clients are going to already have all this information on a spreadsheet that they can send to you. And we will take that spreadsheet as is in lieu of this third page census form. So the plan, the plan design information, we're looking for, what type of contribution flexibility is the business owner looking for? Is there a budget that they have for it? How old is the business owner? That's going to be relative as well. How much time do they have out in front of them before retirement? And, the company profitability, and what type of tax deductions that may enable them to take advantage of using a 401k plan. And then are there any family members in the company? Because that will sometimes implicate the highly compensated individuals within a business. So, and then of course, employee demographics, and are there any other goals or objectives by the business owner? So I mentioned earlier about various online information about existing pension plans that are in place or 401k plans. You'll notice here is a handful of websites that you can go to, and you can pull up actually businesses within your zip code, for example, that 401k plan that have 401k plans in place. And so you could use that as a potential resource for prospecting, this particular 401k marketplace. So by all means, make a note of those particular websites, go out onto them, take a look at them, and see if it's something that may be advantageous for you in your particular marketplace there where you live. And then we have web support, and I'll go to our website once this PowerPoint is complete, just to kind of give you a quick overview of our website and the information you can obtain from our website specifically for our 401k platform. So I'm actually going to touch on, I have a couple of PowerPoint slides that kind of highlight how to navigate our website, but I'm also going to actually do it live as well. But basically what you're looking at now is our base website, where we have some links at the top of the page, and you'll go to products and services, and you'll see there on the far right, advanced concepts, there's pension sales. And you can see there's two links, getting started and request a proposal. So that request for proposal is actually an online request option. You can go there if you'd like and actually input the information from that request for proposal I showed previously in the PowerPoint and submit it via our website. And our pension department will receive it directly, and then they will obviously get back in touch with you once they have the proposal prepared. And then getting started, that's the main link that gets you to our pension platform website, where there's a number of additional resources there as well, which I'll show you at the end of the PowerPoint. So this is our pension team. These are our leaders basically that make up our pension team in Galveston. And then there's some support staff as well that are going to support these guys. But these are our primary folks that are going to do most of the plan design and who are all qualified to do so. So, at the end of the day, don't leave money on the table, right? I mean, if you've already got relationships, especially if you already got relationships, there's no reason why not to go have that conversation with that relationship that you are in a position to offer to them a qualified retirement solution in the form of a 401k plan. So Nathan, with that said, that concludes at least the PowerPoint. If you want to open it up for questions, I can take some questions before I move over to our website. Let me know how you'd like me to proceed.
That sounds good, Ronnie. Well, I thank you for that. I'll give a moment to see if there's any questions. I have a couple that I've written down that I'll ask you as well. But I want to say before I move on to questions and you can walk through the PowerPoint, this is a phenomenal arrow in everyone's quiver. This is something that you should be familiar with, where to find the information and how to approach it, because as you've already expressed, Ronnie, there's a lot of missed opportunity within the small business world, and it is a massive space that is completely underserved, especially within this market, within the 401k space. And American National Plan is a good, solid plan and good solution for those people. And there are a heck of a lot, not that we're pitting financial advisors against life insurance agents. We should all be working together, but there's certainly a lot more licensed insurance agents than are financial advisors, especially that are interested in working in this type of space. So licensed agents have a big opportunity to capitalize that if you have just even a slight focus on finding the right type of clients. So I wanted to express that. But one question that I had just is on the fee structure, and more just talking, how does the fee structure compare to most other 401ks out there? Not like a direct number or things like that, but with what you've seen in some of the plan takeovers and places that don't have it, what would your comment be on that between most 401k plans and your guys' fee structure?
So thank you for that question, Nathan. In general, we are going to be your lower cost provider. There's only a few other competitors with us in the small business marketplace. And that's generally because most of the 401k providers out there, which there are some competing insurance companies with us, they tend to concentrate on the larger plans because they're looking for economies of scale and volume. Whereas, we're a smaller organization when it comes to pensions. And so we cater to the small businesses. So I think there's a lot more opportunity for that small business scenario. And accordingly, our fees are very competitive. And generally, like I said, we're going to be one of your lower cost options.
Absolutely. And that's a good point to make on that end, especially if you're talking about potential takeovers of 401k plans that you're already running into, which, as you already expressed statistically, though, there's not a lot of those in that space.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'll leave a couple other things. I want you, we'll take just a couple minutes. Let's go through where to find a lot of this information, because that's always useful. And then as Ronnie's going through that and getting there, again, if anybody has any questions, then put them in the Q&A bar, or if you want to talk through it, just raise your hand up and I'll unmute you. And as long as we don't have, as long as it doesn't get too crazy, but we'll allow them to have that questions, because again, this is something I implore everyone to understand more about and understand how how you can utilize this. And I mean, I know you spent a little bit of time on it, but that website that you brought, those websites that you brought up, those are very good as well. Of just being able to find out, just prospecting wise, where you can find some of those prospects.
Yeah. So Nathan, the other takeaway, I did just pull up our website that I had mentioned earlier. And, the other takeaway here too, just to give everyone a broader sense of, of the opportunity, American National maintains more than 10,000 plus 401k plans in force currently, with an average age of 10 years. So as I mentioned earlier about, the thing about 401k plans and small businesses is that, small business owners, they have to be a jack of all trades, right? Well, the last thing they really want to deal with is a 401k plan, right? And so once they do get it in place, they leave it on autopilot. So, obviously a review could be a little bit more of a challenge because they don't want to mess with it, hypothetically. But the point is, for you as the agent, once you are the agent of record on a 401k plan, the recurring commissions on these plans, those go on autopilot. So, keep that in mind. You definitely, you definitely are going to find that this is great retention business. And the rollovers can be quite lucrative. I mean, it's not uncommon for us to do a rollover of $1 million to $2 million to $3 million. And I don't want to speak out of turn, but historically on a rollover, our average compensation is a couple of percentage points. Well, if it's a couple of $1 million and you already had the relationship, why not? So, just to keep those opportunities in mind of where, these or how lucrative some of these can be. And at the end of the day, if you just simply make a commitment to write a couple a year, obviously this is going to be great supplemental income to what you're already doing with your practice. And it's something that maybe you weren't doing before. So,
hey, Ronnie, I know, because you started off the presentation with technology wise, we don't actually see the website because you had it on the presentation. I think you have to reshare your screen.
Oh, sorry. You're right.
No worries.
Thank you for bringing that up, Nathan. Let me know now.
Yep. Now we can see that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. So this is our base website, and as I referenced in the PowerPoint from a couple of slides, you go under the products and services link, and I mentioned over here that you could go under pension and request for proposal. And you'll notice that when you go to request for proposal, it literally just populates on the screen that pension proposal request form. So conceivably, you could do it from right here if you were perhaps sitting with your business owner client, and you could submit it to us directly that way. So just keep that in mind. That's one way to do it. But regarding the additional resources and materials, we go over to getting started. And this takes us to our Small Business Solutions pension plan website. You'll notice here we do regular webinars. As you can see here, we have a Safe Harbor 401k plan webinar coming up on January the 19th. We have a pensions, and when I say pensions webinar on February 2nd, in this webinar, the folks from our home office that conduct these webinars will be speaking beyond 401k, which, 401k is defined contribution. They'll also be talking about defined benefit, which is like a traditional pension plan that we also make available on our qualified pension platform. And then again, you'll notice too, on February 16, we're doing life insurance in a defined benefit plan, which, as many of you listening in would be familiar with, that's a 412E plan. So we have the whole life insurance policy to support a 412E plan, where you might have those small business owner clients with just a handful of employees, maybe a doctor or a lawyer who's got a very high income. We are doing a lot of 412E plans using our whole life insurance for defined benefit. So that's just kind of a broader commentary there, since I know we were going to focus today on 401k. But just be aware, you see there the upcoming webinars. And then over here to the left, I'm going to go to learn more. And then this takes us to our actual marketing materials page. And you'll notice this, there's the request for proposal. We also have it in Spanish. Let's see, we have the business owner's guide to retirement plan review. We have our small business retirement planning brochure, also have it in Spanish. So that one brochure I mentioned in the presentation that offered up all the scripting and such for current clients and prospects, that'll be here. That's your business owner guides to retirement plan review. And you can see down here, we have our pension fee schedule that you saw on the website, on the PowerPoint. You can see there's our 412E brochure. And then you'll notice down here, we have the various 401ks, right? You got the 401k versus a SEP IRA. And then you have your Safe Harbor 401k. And so there's several 401k scenarios that I didn't really get into, because it's not important that you be necessarily aware of that currently. The key now is that you're just simply looking for those candidates or those clients who might be open to you approaching them about looking at a 401k solution. And so that's really it, Nathan, regarding our website. Obviously, those webinars I referenced, they're going to go into a lot more detail about the differences in 401k plans, because there's a handful of 401k plans that are different. And bottom line, they're different depending on whether the employer wants to make a matching contribution or not, and how much of a matching contribution they are willing to make. And that is what makes up the different type of, whether it's traditional 401k or Safe Harbor. And then you notice down here, the other one is called the new comparability profit sharing plan that weaves in profit sharing into the 401k plan. So again, no need as someone in the field looking to build out this opportunity for your practice. No need for you to understand and know all those details now. It's really just piquing the interest, getting the door open, and seeing if you can get some of your clients willing to look at a proposal. And it will be through that process with our case design folks in Galveston that you will gradually expand your knowledge of the different 401k types.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate that, Ronnie. And does anybody have any questions while we have Ronnie on here? Ronnie's the answer man. So anybody have any questions or any clarifications that they have? As we'll give everyone just a couple minutes to see if there are any questions. If not, then we'll end a little bit early. There's no reason for us to be staring at the American National beautiful screen that Ronnie's showing for another 12 minutes. But the last thing that I'll say as a minute of respite to see if there's any questions is, again, just do the activity of thinking who your business owner clients are. Who are the people that are within your network? Those are the easiest people to talk to first. And they are a very underserved marketplace that many people have not talked to. And the American National Plan is a phenomenal way to be able to put your foot in the door to, because Ronnie mentioned this a bit earlier too, that use this to get your foot in the door to talk about other business planning opportunities as well, whether it be key man policies or executive bonus plans or buy and sell agreements and things of that nature. So this is a great tool. American National is a phenomenal back-end resource and support mechanism where, again, you don't have to know everything. You just have to find a way to start the conversation. And between Ronnie, our whole team, your agency and your affiliate marketing office, affiliate marketing office's team as well, we can support you to make sure that you're getting the right information and the right sales proposals and things like that to give to your clients. So I don't see any other questions. We'll end this off that this is recorded. We'll put this in the YouTube channel as well. So for those that want to see it again, and if you have any further questions about this, then touch base with your business development advisor or your affiliate marketing office, and we'll continue the conversation from there. The last thing, I'll give a plug in. American National, of course, has some other phenomenal products. The 401k plan is just a very unique situation that is not a lot out there. There's not a lot of companies that have that. So we're excited to have them and be able to work with them. And if you have any questions, you know where to find us. Ronnie, anything you want to end off with?
Thank you very much, Nathan, again for arranging this opportunity for us, and also thank you to all of you that took the time out of your day to listen in. I hope you found today productive. And my last slide of my PowerPoint offered up my contact info, so feel free to reach out to me directly if you have any questions or you want to explore an opportunity. Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you, Ronnie. You have a great rest of your day. I know we'll have you again on it sometime in the near future.
Thank you very much.
All right. And have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.